at the bank, making money, making moves. Machines with tools and drills, making grooves. Missions impossible, that's lotsable. I'm upside down, hanging like Tom Cruise.
Hey guys, welcome in here. It is, well, it's interesting. It's a Tuesday night, so we're kind of caught in between that no man's land. We just finished week 1 of the NFL. We got a couple more days before we've got a little more NFL Thursday night. And then, of course, week 3 college football is almost upon us. But whoa. We got 15 games in Major League Baseball to get to tonight. We got plenty going on in the sports investing world, and nobody better to talk baseball with than our good friend Dr. Chuck RX. SportsMemo.com, guys, is where you can find him. And again, if you guys don't know, if you haven't seen, SportsMemo.com got a little something for everybody there. A little bit of everything. Dr. Chuck RX, Teddy Covers, Rob Veno. We got just about everybody there who is anybody with the ability for you guys to be able to invest and make money. And that's really what it's all about. It's about investing, smart investing, putting yourself in a position to be able to cash, which is why we try to do our best here, deliver some of the things that we have found from a handicapping perspective, and hopefully apply them to some of these free plays that we got here tonight. And it is a 15-game card here tonight, Dr. Chuck, and it's such an interesting time of year in Major League Baseball. We've got a lot of value on the board. You've got a lot of teams that have nothing to play for, maybe playing some teams that have something to play for. It's an interesting dichotomy right now at this time of the year in MLB.
Yeah, it's one of the reasons I love September and betting baseball so much, because, as you said, just the mere fact that we can say it's kind of a dead Tuesday. Well, interesting, because there's just as many games today as there are going to be Sunday, actually more. Mm-hmm. And it's funny because we're just looking towards, and I even have a play up right now for Thursday night's Bucks-Panthers game, and that's what everybody's looking for, but the money is not there. That's where Vegas is really honed in on those lines we're alluding to. The lines are lazy, and they don't get a whole lot lazier than
right.
And then as September rolls along, and the lines are huge. I think the Yankees, who couldn't name a pitcher all day, finally named that they're going to have an opener, and then the Golden Nugget just threw 400 on it.
Yep.
Exactly
correct.
Just, they could have thrown that on there when it was still undecided if they were allowed. Mm-hmm. That's what it screams to me. And it's like you said, this is when we're looking for matchups, interesting matchups like Braves-Phillies, where both teams are playoff contenders, versus things like Blue Jays-Red Sox, where the Red Sox get to leave home last night after honoring Big Papi and firing Dombrowski and bowing out of the title defense.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's
motivation plays a big role this time of year. Yeah, motivation is big.
And then you have interesting interleague matchups like Washington and Minnesota, where they're both also vying for playoff contention, and it's not, and they don't know each other type of situation. So there's all kinds of stuff, but yeah, the value is insane. You could almost make a bet on the total and side in all 15 games just based on value. That's
correct. And, that's sometimes, guys, and, over 162 game season, and you've got 15 games a night there. It's a long, grinding season. The only way you can profit, and you know this, Dr. Chuck, in baseball, is you've got to be willing to play those games that, you might only win, your implied probability of winning is maybe 30-35%. But, guys, that's how you make the money. And that's why a lot of guys that do the grind in baseball will tell you this time of year, this is where they can really rack up last couple of weeks of the season, because the value plays are there, and you have teams that, what are the Dodgers playing for tonight, guys, exactly, when they're in Baltimore taking on the Orioles? Like, what do the Dodgers have to prove right now? And the answer is not a hell of a lot. And you got the Orioles at home.
Bueller on the road.
Yeah, and you've got the Orioles getting a run and a half on the run line. They are what, plus 175, plus 180? That's value, guys. You got a team like the Dodgers. Yeah, of course the Dodgers are better over the season, but for one night with absolutely zero riding on it on the road halfway around the country, I don't know. That screams value to me, Dr. Chuck.
Oh, absolutely. And not only is it value, but it also depends on the type of bettor you are. So you have to kind of analyze, don't change what you've been just because things have become this way. I am a higher volume bettor. I put out a larger volume of plays. If you're not, though, there is still value. Just imagine if in the NFL you only had to win 1 out of every 3 days to still have a profit.
Right.
And that's what you kind of are alluding to is tonight.
Yep.
You know, the Tigers and the Orioles, you know, I mean, if by chance the Tigers and the Orioles, who, as we said, I am more on the Yankees side tonight, but the Yankees did just put the Red Sox out of the misery last night. They do have to worry about the Rays, but the Dodgers don't have much to play for. If the O's and Tigers win tonight and you parlay them together in one bet, that's, you know, in the end, it's not that unlikely.
Right.
And that's what we're trying to get at is here. If you're looking at more of a a lower volume type of a player, that's where you want to look.
Right.
Especially now this time of year.
Yeah.
You know, and then teams like the Dodgers and Yankees are going to clinch playoff spots, and then they are going to get more starts to Gonsolins and even like get Sessa as a actual starter now that Sabathia is out type of stuff.
Exactly.
And that's where you got to look. You know, and you mentioned it. How lazy is Vegas? The Red Sox just got eliminated last night. They got all this stuff going on, and they had to travel. Now they're going to go face a pitcher they've never seen before. The Blue Jays throwing out a new starter, and Vegas throws a -160 up. And
exactly.
It's ludicrous.
Yeah. Value, guys. That's what it's all about. Give yourself, put yourself in a position to be able to make some money and be consistent with it. And you don't do that by just throwing shit against the wall and hoping it sticks. There is there's a rhythm to what goes on here in Major League Baseball over the long haul, especially in the month of September. Huge value. Matchups are really important. Motivation is really important. And this card, we got a little bit of everything here tonight. So, Dr. Chuck, let's ask you. I know we just talked about Toronto, for instance, rolling out a rookie nobody's ever seen. They're home, going up against what has to be a deflated Boston Red Sox team. Eovaldi on the mound for them. And, you know, there does seem to be some money coming in towards the Blue Jays right now. That number's coming down. But where else on the card are you looking at here tonight? What are you gonna help us? What are you gonna help us point us to?
Well, yes, similar to what you were getting into there. There's a lot of good value on the run lines tonight for teams that, if you kind of had an inkling that you might like them to pull off a win tonight, because that's how baseball goes. Boy, stringing together a couple of those +1.5s. We were discussing, you know, we're not big on putting out parlays, and if you're going to be a parlay bettor, you're probably going to be back to your regular job sooner than later, unfortunately. But man, I mean, the Diamondbacks, I think we mentioned the Diamondbacks +1.5 how, the Phillies +1.5 somehow, and the Blue Jays +1.5 somehow. Now, I mean, it's hard to go against Max Fried in that Phillies spot, but the Phillies are going for the playoffs too, and the Braves are a lot more assuredly in there, so the Phillies do have something more to play for. But we mentioned earlier, the Nats and Twins are both looking at a playoff berth, and I really like the play in that game for the over. The starters, you got Anibal Sanchez, who just got shellacked by the Mets last time.
Right.
You got Berrios, who has kind of been making a habit of that since August. The Tigers got him. The Braves, I think, almost put up double digits on him. You got a couple of lineups that are just fun to back if you want an over. You know, it's not hard to back them at all, especially if you're getting that kind of a starter on the end. And then the umpire, and I don't do umpire. I use umpires religiously every day. I don't use it as a, hey, this guy is this, so just put the bet out. You have to take other factors into account. But Tom Hallion's behind the plate. He's a 68% over umpire. And you got an indoor game, and you're going to have, and you get the Nats in a spot where you get to add a batter. You know, Sanchez doesn't have to hit for himself in Minnesota tonight, and you're just going to have, you know, I also kind of like the Nats to keep this competitive, which even leans towards 18 at bats in the game. And I just think that this might even fly over the total tonight. Yep,
absolutely. Especially get to that bullpen there of Washington, and it's like, look out. Yeah. But quite honestly, Berrios has been he's been putrid here, guys. He has since August. In fact, he's got an 8.07 ERA, 1.92 WHIP, guys, in 6 starts.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
that's 2 an inning.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, not good here, guys. So definitely like the over in that for sure, because especially in Minnesota, balls could be flying out rather quickly there.
Berrios puts 2 nets on per inning. He's going to last 4.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly correct. And right there, you've got yourself kickback, rocking chair. You've got yourself an over ticket. Listen, I'm going to go what I've been going for most of the year and over the last couple of years with the Oakland A's. I've backed them a lot this year because they've been money. They've been consistent. And if nothing else, maybe that's the word I would use for the Oakland A's, certainly from a betting perspective, is consistent. And the one thing they have always been, and they got just smoked last night in the first 2 innings. They actually played really good for 7 innings, but the first 2 innings got out of hand. They lost it there, 6 in one inning, 5 in the other, and then it just kind of it trickled down from there. But they are going up against Wade Miley tonight on the road in Houston for Game 2 of this series. And if it's one thing we know about the A's, is how consistent they have been and how profitable they have been against left-handed pitching. And it's not just this year, guys. It's going on 2 years now since 2018, 47-21 against the full game line against left-handed pitchers. That's almost 70%, okay? You're talking about a 70% winning percentage full game just because there's a lefty on the mound. And, yeah, guys, really, really, really good situation.
And ain't Kershaw tonight.
Exactly. And we're talking about the number 4 guy. We're not talking about Verlander or Cole. We're talking about a left-handed number 4 starter for this team. Yeah, I like the number right there, and they're getting some value too. So the number has kind of been all over the place, but recency bias plays into here because you know what's going to happen. The public's going to look at 36 runs in 2 games. Oh my word, the Houston. Okay, I'll go where the value is. I'll take it not only full game. I'll take the full game line, but let me just check the number here. I am looking at, you got a run line at a decent price too, minus 125, but I'd take it first. I'd take it, Tanner Roark's going for them.
Yeah.
Also been solid for him since he's come back over. Tough, National League pitcher come to the American League. All value here across the board. First 5 A's, the full game A's, the run line A's. A lot of ways to be able to utilize the A's tonight to get the job done. I like their chances because of the left-handed situation. Game 2 of the series. And, they got – I can promise you they're going to be coming out. They're going to be swinging tonight, a little bent out of shape, try to wash that stink off from last night.
Absolutely. And we discussed this a little bit off air, and it's weird to say, and some might say that we're just stupid saying it, but the under last night, I think, was the play, and I think it might have been a hard luck loser. I mean, you look at the box score, you're just going to look at it in the newspaper in the old days, and you're thinking, what are you talking about? But I think it was actually a hard luck loser, and I think more often than not, I like to look at how the game ended, especially within a series, and they didn't put anything together
right
as the game was coming to a close, and I just don't think, when now they need to have a lot of offense to back Miley, I don't know if that's going to come.
Yeah, I agree. I just think that's if you're looking for some value, if you're looking for an opportunity to cash something with a little track record there, definitely the A's tonight going up against lefty Miley on the road, Game 2, trying to exact a little revenge there tonight against those Houston Astros who seem to be putting up football scores because they're pissed everyone's watching football and not the Houston Astros. Exactly. All right, so Dr. Chuck RX, he's got the over tonight, Minnesota, Washington. Get ready for Berrios and Sanchez, and I'm going to be looking towards the Oakland A's to pull over the trifecta. Give me the plus 1.5 run line, give me the money line, and give me the first 5 money line as well. Get into the job done. Make some money with the A's tonight. And, of course, make sure you make money by heading over to, there it is, sportsmemo.com, guys. A little something for everybody there. You'll find Dr. Chuck RX packages available. His plays are available. His write-ups are all there for you. Got a roster of handicappers there, some of the best from around the country, guys, right there at sportsmemo.com, including you got what kind of plays you got going on tonight in the packages?
Yep, I have a couple different standalone plays. I also have a couple plays packed together. I also have 2 week 2 NFL releases already.
Yes,
so,
I noticed
including
that.
including a 5% pretty terrible line in my opinion that they hung already. And I think it's kind of an under the radar game, and they're probably hoping that the narrative is going to be something that's opposite of what I think.
Yep. But there's something there for everybody. Also, make sure you're tailing Dr. Chuck at Dr. Chuck RX on Twitter. Always great stuff coming up there. Always a pleasure to talk to you, my friend. Good night tonight. Good luck tonight, rather. And we'll be cashing these tickets, and we'll just keep scoring those runs against Barrios. And we'll be back again this week with more free plays. Make sure you get to sportsmemo.com. Dr. Chuck RX, thanks for the time, man.
Thanks, Joe. Be good.